Hi friends. If you click to check out the NATASHA DENONA Holiday Mini Gold Palette as well as her Glow Gold Highlighter Palette, then please keep on watching. If it's your first time here, hi. My name is Alicia, and if you are returning, well, thank you for coming again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups on the daily, you can head over to my Instagram. My hair is very snug and up. I recently got my hair cut and mama gave her a wash and go. I have a lot of product in my hair, so it dried very small, and because of that my poof is not poofy enough. Maybe by day 5, like on Friday, it'll be real fluffed out. So I just kind of clipped her up and did a little thing in the front to shake things up a bit. But we're here to talk about Mini Gold and Glow Gold. I'm sure you've seen plenty of reviews on this palette, but I decided since I haven't done mine yet and I have the palettes, why not? I'll come on here and do it anyway. I believe this is sold on NATASHADENONA.com, Sephora.com, maybe Beautylish. I'm not too sure. The mini eyeshadow palette retails for $25, which is quite a penny because you don't get a whole lot per pan, but it is a nice way to kind of dip your toes into the Natasha Denona eyeshadow world of things instead of having to drop more on her standard size 5-pan palettes, which retail for $48, or the 15 pans for $129, or just the one midi-sized one, Metropolis, for $128, 28 shades, and Sunrise 65 for 15 shades with the smaller pans. The Glow Gold palette retails for $42. Now this is her standard size highlighter dual palette. She also has the single compact highlighters that I think retail maybe around the same price, if not $42, $38. Maybe. Some quick details on the Mini Gold. This has an expiration suggested shelf life of 24 months, and it is made in Italy. Not tested on animals, paraben free, and we're looking at 5 pieces of eyeshadow that weigh in at 0.8 grams or 0.028 ounces each. For the Gold Glow, we're looking at suggested shelf life of 18 months, also made in Italy. Alcohol free, paraben free, not tested on animals. Each pan contains 7 grams, wow, or 0.25 ounces of product. So you get quite a bit of product in this duo. Let's quickly go over these swatches. Yeah, first we got like this beautiful beige taupe. This satin shade that's not quite matte, but it has some shimmer in it. Really nice sheen. Beautiful dual chrome shade here. Ooh, that's lovely. The matte olive, which I think everyone was really excited for. Nice saturation. And lastly, we have this, I don't even know, let's look. Ooh, that is gorgeous. This perhaps is one of my more favorite minis. My favorite one that I have is Mini Nude. Now I don't have all her minis, but I have tried some, swatched some in store, and I feel that Mini Nude was the one that was most consistent with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow formula we know so well. The mattes were really creamy, the metallics were smooth and full bodied, had great glide to them, and I feel this also is consistent with a lot of her palette formulas from the bigger designs. And I just think it's really comprehensive for it only being 5 shadows. I like that there's a beige, but then there's also the olive green, and you have a smoky color that's not brown or black. It's like a very deep taupey olive, so we're doing good so far. Now for the Glow Gold. I know this is not very popular and people were disappointed. I think she should have named this because it says here this is a shimmer duo, diamond powder and super glow. Now the super glow, I compare this to, I don't have the single pan palettes, but I do think about the super glow that exists in her tan bronze and glow. The super glow powder is here, very smooth to the touch, has great sheen and just brightness on the skin. You plop this on and your skin looks shiny, very light, very bright on the skin. And I think people were expecting, as one should, this texture to exist in the Glow Gold palette. I think Natasha should have named this like a Super Glow Topper palette, because the minute I felt this texture, I knew it was just like I called Natasha Denona's, not her personally, I called the store and asked to speak with one of the makeup artists and said, hey, what is the best way to apply this duo? She said that the best way to apply this duo is to apply a cream base first, which is how Natasha usually teaches how to highlight in her Natasha Denona makeup school, or to spritz your face and then apply this. And I was like, oh, okay. It's strange to me that the Natasha Denona team or whoever will name this super glow when it's nothing like the super glow texture. And you'll see here, let's first go in with the diamond powder, which is the lighter of the two. So you barely see any pigmentation because this is really like a topper to set off another highlighter you might already have on your face. And here is the other one that's more like a copper. Let me cut down the exposure so you can probably see these better. So you see this has a little bit of a duochrome. I mean, barely you can see this on camera, but you see how much pigmentation the super glow powder has from the tan bronze and glow. So it's kind of like, I wish you would have changed the name because people expected for it to be like the super glow powder in tan bronze and glow or in her singles, but it's not. It's a totally different formula. And I think, although appropriate for a holiday, because it is blingy, which you will see in a minute, but I don't think it's a great highlighter to rely on its own as a highlight. I think it's great as just like a topper highlight. Before we get into the complexion round of things, let us get into this eye demo. Then we'll demo the highlighters. All timestamps will be down below if you want to skip over to whatever portion you want. And yeah, with that said, on my eyes, I have the Anastasia primer from lash line to brow bone. Let's do two licks, one on this side and one on this side. Does that sound like a plan? Okay. Beauy with the Sonia G crease 2. Gonna hit that in the crease. Not too bad, we're looking olive. This is her creamy matte formula, which is a powder but it has a creamy texture to it. I am taking my time building this up. You could have went in with the taupe beige shade first and then in with the olive, but I want this eye to look exclusively olive, like olive. I am thrilled that it's cloudy today because let me tell you, trying to film especially complexion videos on a sunny day with the constant light change is the worst. And to film in cloudy light just allows for you guys to see the true tone of shades, especially when I'm doing foundation videos. Like, forget it. If it's too sunny, then I go from like neutral to orange red to orange pink, yellow orange, back to neutral like 10 times in one video. It's no good. I really love how this is building up. It's not appearing muddy, it's just appearing more olive as I go in with several layers. I could use a smaller brush also to build up the saturation, but I really love what this brush is doing as we speak, so I'm sticking to it. Get it out a little bit. That looks gorgeous. I love the tone of this green. It's not super olive, it's like, it has a little bit of like, I don't know, it's like a fresh olive green. It has a little more brightness than a typical olive green, I feel. Sonia G, Builder 3. With Baya, I'm saying Baya. Is it Bia or Baya? I don't know. Along the lower lash line, I'm changing gears here because I love my lower lash line to be very smoky, so I am switching to my Rephr 01 eyeshadow brush to really pull this down. Using my finger with the last metallic shade, as I think it's best to apply these textures with your finger. Oh, that's pretty. It's like a duochrome teal with like a reddish brown base. It's really nice. Very smooth and easy to apply with fingers. If you were to apply this with a brush, I would suggest that you press and pull with the brush to avoid any fallout because this shade does have some texture to it. But to apply it with your fingers, the warmth from your skin helps to press those loose particles more efficiently on the skin so they don't fall on the rest of your face. Taking this middle shade here, Tuckahoe J242 Wet. This shade has the most texture. That's why I wet it so that when I apply it here, see, it got fallout anyway, whatever. On the inner lower third, that it could stick better and not fall down. Pulling that around the inner corner and slightly over that shade on the lid. Kick that off using my Builder 3 just to soften the edges here. Alright, that's eye number 1. Going in with this beige shade with my Wayne Goss number 3. Gonna put it all over. Another creamy matte that I feel, I like the tone of this. I think it's a cooler tone or very similar to what already exists in the gold palette, which I'm sorry that I did not show at the beginning of this review. Gold palette is one of Natasha's 15 pan palettes that the theme is gold. It's not my favorite palette, and people were quite surprised that I did not include it in my top 5 Natasha Denona palettes. I feel that although the beiges in that palette have different undertones, I found that when I blended them on my lids, they all pretty much looked the same in the end. Like the more warm beige with the more cool beige all look the same when I blended two together. I still love it though. I mean, those shades are gorgeous. I'm not saying that they're not. I feel that I have a tendency to create different looks with her other palettes than I do with the gold one. But I do understand that it is very approachable because of the number of neutral beige shades in that palette. So this is what we're looking at here. Not bad. I think it's a lovely color applied on its own on the lid and lower lash line. Pop on some mascara and be done, so you have a nice contour to the crease. Taking this satin shade with my Tuckahoe holiday brush from last year, I'm gonna press that onto the outer V, so it has really nice sheen and it really smokes it up fast. I'm patting it down first to get the color on the lid, and now with circular motions with some windshield wiper ones as well, pull that through the crease and use that to wing it out slightly. Getting a little dark on me, don't go anywhere. This is a great color. Even though it has some shine to it, it still blends phenomenally. And it doesn't blend away, like we got some color here. Wayne number 3 to gently buff the edges of those two shades. I'm gonna be careful here and apply that steel shade with the same Tuckahoe brush under my lash line, more so on the outer third to connect with the top. Wiping that brush on my towel and then taking the beige matte, same brush but now all the way across the lower lash line to connect those shades and just to smooth out. Now we could do one of two things. We could take this shade all on the lid and make it very smoky, or we can go in with this shade so it could be our standout lid color. You know what? I think I want to go in with this shade all over the lid. Is that okay? I just want to see how it looks. I hope you don't mind, friends. Sunji, Builder 3 with that shade all over the lid. Ooh, I love that. Yes, this is a really nice shade. It just has, because typically shades that have some sheen to them, I don't think this is a matte with sparkle in it. I think this is like a satin shade. I should put up what it actually is next to me. I'm sure she has it in her shade descriptions on Sephora and on her website. But it just has really nice texture. It's not too chalky, or it's not chalky at all actually. It's very smooth and it blends beautifully on the skin. That's great. Goes really well with that beige matte. I like. Let's go in with this shade now on the inner third for this eye. Hakuhoro J242. I'm actually taking that all the way around the inner corner so it could be our highlight for this eye. Alright, I'm gonna apply some mascara and I'll be right back. Eyes are completed. We'll do some close-up slow-mo shots once we get this highlighter on. Now, according again to Natasha Denona's technique of things, let's go in with a cream base, and just for the sake of it being a Natasha video, I will go in with the cream base that is in her Tan Bronze and Glow, and this is my favorite way to apply it. You can use fingers, but I much prefer a sponge. We'll go in the pan and press that onto the cheekbones. You're too far. Now this on its own is absolutely beautiful. It's just simply one of my most favorite face palettes that I own. She really nailed it with this palette in terms of the shades and the textures involved. So we'll do it both ways, okay? I will now go in with my sponge, but I will go in with the diamond shade. And I'm gonna press that on the cheekbones. So because we applied the cream base and the sponge is damp, the particles are better able to adhere. Now, fun fact, Natasha does not use any glitter in her products. This is all pearl and crushed crystal, because some people have described this to be glittery, but there is no glitter in here at all. And there's not even glitter in her shadows that are very glitzy, because Natasha Denona feels, or whoever the chemist is that she works with in formulating her makeup, that crushed glitter actually can cause micro tears on your lid and face, but crushed pearls and crystals do not. That's why she insists on only relying on those ingredients to create this glow. Now with this shade, this one's a little tough because it is deeper than I feel people were expecting, but I apply this right under the first one. This is what it looks like with very little exposure. Here's a close-up. My phone is being used as a mic right now, but I'm gonna turn on the flashlight. And this is how it looks with the flashlight up close. And I panned you out just so you can see how that looks further away from the lens, still with the flashlight on the cheekbones. This is 100% super shiny. So let's do this now. Taking my Sonia G Classic Cheek with the Super Glow from Tan Bronzing Glow. Gonna put that over the cheekbones first. Now you see this is more of a traditional actual powder highlight I think we were expecting from her Glow Gold palette. Now dipping into the Glow Impact powder. Dabbing that right on the top. Let's spritz. Before that dries down, going back with the gold powder again and just pressing it right on top, taking a little bit and placing it just slightly further down, like under that, because it's a little deeper. I'm gonna spritz again, gonna pounce, and here you have the Glow Gold over some of the highlighters from Tan Bronzing Glow. Definitely applying her I Need a Nude in Noah. Just a little Hepburn Honey from Char on the centered lip. And here we have it, the completed look. I simply love the mini gold palette. I think although you don't get a lot of product per pan for the price, yes, it is outrageous. The quality though is very much consistent with what she has in her bigger 15 pan palettes, even her 5 pan palettes, some of them. The mattes are beautiful in terms of the tones, in terms of how they build. I just love the green of this matte. It's not typical olive. There's a little more brightness to it that I feel it doesn't look so crazy green, but it's still very much grounded in terms of the hue. And then with the beautifully creamy duochrome we have, coupled with this one here, that you could very much with your finger apply this on top to make the other one appear brighter and to give it that flip. Is outrageously beautiful. And I even like the more beigey matte too. I think it has a role here in setting up the olive and also setting up this beautifully smoky steel. It's like a brown gray, but I just love how beautifully cool it is and how smoky it is without being exclusively black or brown. It adds something different to the mix of your smoky eye portfolio in terms of what you usually love to use. Now, I am definitely in the minority here when I say I like the Glow Gold. I think it's so holiday appropriate. Listen, it is sparkly and shiny, but I love the texture. I think if you apply it the way we did in the video on top of a cream base or on top of not set concealer, because if you apply this on powdered dry skin, you will hate it. That's it. You're not going to get the effect that you're looking for. But again, I wish she had named these like a topper instead of a highlighter, because people will expect the consistency to be, whether it's what's found in the Tan Bronzing Glow or her Super Glow powders. This is a topper, both of them are, and they are best applied on damp skin. I find even better than fingers, because Natasha in her masterclass did use fingers to apply this. Use a damp sponge. I think you're gonna get the best finish. It's gonna look the smoothest when it comes to this texture. And I'm moving my microphone again. I am so sorry. Forgive me. But look at that. It is so pretty. I love it. I think it's so fun. It's holiday appropriate, and if you are in the entertainment business, if you do circus entertainment or what have you in that realm, this will look sickening on stage, because when the lights hit, you just have this beautiful gleam from your cheeks. I even wore this out just on a regular day because I just love the effect of it. But in the end though, if you don't like that in a highlighter, if it's still too much, even if you change your technique, even if you have this palette and you've been trying to apply it in a way that appears smooth and beautiful, because of the consistency and simply because of its role, I don't think you're gonna get like your powder highlight finish from this. It's just a different formula altogether, and it's mainly for just elevating your powder highlighters to definitely make them jump out at you. I really like it. So if you have the glow gold and you're thinking about returning it, maybe these techniques still don't work for you and you'll return it anyway, I wouldn't run out and get it, because if you don't even like highlighter, then you shouldn't really be getting this. But if you like to have some fun with your highlighter, and when that light hits, like that dim light or even like the golden hour type of light, it's gonna look gorgeous. And the eyeshadow palette, of course, I highly recommend. I think it is simply, it's just a beautiful curation of shades. You know I love my greens, and the fact that she included a neutral color just so you could work in with the olive and the steel gray here, or charcoal, however you want to describe it to be, with these shades that you can layer on top of each other or wear by themselves, however you want. This is a great mini gold. I think she really nailed it with this mini. Maybe not so much with the sunset and mini lila. I think people were like okay with the tropic mini. This and mini nude for me have been my fave minis from her so far. And again, I do love the glow gold. I know it's been not a favorite, people hate it, but look at this. Look at that shine. And absolutely, if you were to walk up to me, you would see like the scattered particles on my cheekbones, absolutely. But you have to apply this on damn skin. If you don't, the particles are not going to sit. They are going to look chalky. They are going to look uneven. It's just not going to look like it blended in any shape or form. It's just gonna look flat and weird. So definitely spritz your face first, but again, if you don't want to go through that, if you don't care to go through it, avoid it at all costs. But if you like this, I think it's worth looking into. Maybe try it in store before you bring it home. Let me know if you grabbed the mini gold or the glow gold highlighter duo, what you think of them, what you're looking to avoid. Maybe you're like, I don't know, Alicia, let me know down below. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another tutorial, review, get ready with me, your favorites list. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.